Alright guys, thanks for tuning into iCup TV. It will be your awesome Brood War caster, iCup Fits, or ICC Cup Fits, or iCup Fits. And, yeah, this will be replay number 4 between April 23rd and April 29th, 2012. And it will be a TVP on Destination. And spawning in the top left as a green Terran, it will be Cal's Praise. Will be averaging 269 this game. Spawning in the bottom right, it will be our yellow Protoss. It will be KT.MGW's Arvid, and I'll call him Praise for the Terran. So, excuse me. Destination is my favorite map of all time, and I'm kind of glad I get to cast it this many times because I really don't get to see many games on it. But you know, these are pretty epic games so far. Thank you, Hashi, but I think it's just because I read a forum post on Map of the Week being like, you need to add Destination, you may have thought, or something. That's probably why you gave me all these destination maps. But no fighting spirit, thankfully. I couldn't handle another one of those. But we will be seeing a normal scouting probe after the pile. And doesn't look like it's going to be a Forge Fast Expand. TVP. It's going to take me a while to remember. Terran will often 3-base. Destination, I've never really seen a TVP on. So I'll be interested how this plays out. But probably 1 Rax Fast Expand, maybe a Factory FE. I think would be what we'd be seeing coming out of Praise for sure. And both players are around the same APM. I mean, 10 APM from 250 to 260 isn't the greatest thing. But Gas Steel will be coming up though, which will be interesting because now you're going to have to force a bio push. So we might be seeing a 2-gate coming up, or a gateway pressure. Tends to be what this is followed up with. Or just to be annoying with the Gas Steel. I don't. But just generally though, the reason for it is that's when you can start doing some damage. That's when you can start doing some really, you know, good pressure. Is when they don't have their tank out, because this is when you're able to be like, okay, well they don't have gas now, so what can they do now? Well, I can go with a 2-gate pressure, but it looks like he's just gonna go for a standard thing. Just be a little bit more delayed because of 100 gas is for a simulator. Gas Steel should be more common with Zerg, just because of their. Because of the less minerals it takes to make a extractor, and it costs less to recreate everyone, and you can do BE for extractor, and then press escape, and then do it instantaneously again, and just be super annoying because then you can't, and then it constantly refills itself. You know, just being annoying. You lose minerals over time, but I mean, then again, you know, gas is the most super important thing in TVZ super early on. But you know, I'll be interested. It looks like a one barracks fast expand. Oddly enough, after this pressure, but no gateway follow up with that because that has been negated because of the simulator. So just do the math there. You don't have the simulator going down. He did cancel and rebuild. So just being annoying there. Just wasting a couple more minerals there. But gas will finally start going up as well. We'll have a couple more minerals there, but it looks like he did stop his fast expand. I was gonna say it'd be kind of risky to take a fast expand, you know, from this. But if you got away with it though, that would be really crucial. We'll see Arvid going with 2-gate range dragoons. Nope. Or 1-gate range dragoon for right now. They will be saying that he does have a dragoon now. He should be saying that range is being researched right now, or might die before then. But I could probably just tell from this as it has been. Sorry, is been. That's not the right correct verb tense. But we'll have 4 Marines. That was a nice little split. I thought he like manually selected them to go like one over here, one over here, one over here. That would be pretty cool. But maybe just denying expand that right here. But he will be putting down a CC in the base though. On a map like Destination, I don't know if you necessarily need to take that precaution. For my preference, I don't think. I never do it anyway, but I don't think you need to because you'll be okay. I mean, you put a bunker right here, you repair it, you'll be fine. I've done it before, you can get away with it. But hey, if he wants to do it, it's fine. It's just playing a little more safer, never a bad thing. But just offering my insight in the air. Oh, he's gonna go for the gases. Oh, is he gonna? Oh, he was exploiting that. I didn't even know how he did that. But anyway, he's gonna be able to. He is exploiting that mineral glitch right there, and he's just gonna go on for an expand right here, or not. I guess that's why it's there. Maybe it's just so he can, you know, do that probe shifting. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, to be completely honest. Oh, you know what? Well, he has set up a contain, so he's trying to figure out what his opponent's doing. Is he going to be, you know, double expanding behind this or whatever? Because you don't really know, and he won't have Academy up for at least for another like probably 2 minutes, I think. Just double SD protection for now. We'll get siege mode up, and the tank should be able to push this back with no problem. And you know, he's not even continuing to reinforce this. He knows that he's not going to be able to break his opponent with this push or anything. And you know, it just makes me think, like, why go for the gas steal anyway? Like, what's the point? Like, it didn't even do anything. Now, all it forces a couple more Marines, and you didn't even get Zealots out in anyway, so it doesn't even matter. If anything, it's just going to make it harder to kite them. But, and you have less Dragoons over there. But, Realm's saying he doesn't think he can do pressure. He might just be doing that, as I might be wrong. Caster can be wrong, right? eBay, me. Will just be coming up right here, but that SCV did get killed off, I believe. And we'll be seeing Robo Facility plus Observatory will be coming as well, and Second Gateway will be added. I'm surprised it's only been 1 gating, but he did expand. As if I failed to mention that. But I believe this should be able to get cleaned up. Whoa, wow. Excuse me. But that should be able to get cleaned up fine, and probably put this around here just to wall that off, just to make it more annoying. And continued production of Dragoon. We'll probably see around 4 or 5 observers being pumped out throughout the game through that robo. Protoss will be expanding. This is what they need to be doing. If Terran expands, you need to expand. You have map control as well, so don't, you know, be careful with it. Don't overextend yourself. But you know, map control is never a bad thing. And getting up the second factory with double machine shop. Looks like he's definitely want to go for these high tank numbers. And Terran's looking like he's going to want turtle. With these turrets everywhere, you know, it's going to be hard to do any kind of drop play or anything like that. I've seen a Boxer versus, what's his name? White Rot on this map, actually. It was a TVP. It was a pro match. I casted with a friend a while back. And what ultimately, you know, Boxer lost in this position because he couldn't. It was such insane Reaver micro coming out of White Raw. It was ridiculous. But you know, with these turrets, that's going to be negated. Now, obviously, if this was a higher league game, they probably wouldn't be able to get as many turrets up. But and also, Protoss is like not one basic. That's another thing. But just interesting. And I don't think I don't know. I mean, we could see Reaver harass. I think it's less likely on this map. It's just kind of hard to do, especially with Terran gonna want to turtle up like a mofo. Like, I mean, 2-basing Terran is not really that good to be out of all honesty right here. It's really, they're really not good. We'll be seeing +1 armor. I mean, I've just seen like 1 or 2 games, and it's just never really effectively worked unless Protoss is off of 2-base, and for whatever reason, this non-stop aggression. Now, those games can happen, but if it's a macro standard game, you know, that's not like the most best location. I mean, this would probably be a good map to 3-base on anyway, because then you could put turrets up here, tank over here, you know, be annoying like that. And you know, you also have like this big ridge over here. You know, it's not Terran. It's similar to Fighting Spirit. Your third's off more, but nothing that you can't like siege up right here and deal with. You know, but I mean, you have to watch out for this building over here. But you can tend to put like supply depots or whatever you want over there, if you desire. Observer did slip in though, and just consistent. No vultures yet. I don't think he even got vulture mines or anything. I don't know what his thought process is on this actually. Ah, interesting. Third factory is coming up. Fourth factory, third and fourth factories are coming up with Starport. Is he just gonna rush for late game? I mean, that's not a terrible thing. He just missed vultures, which is iffy because tanks are good, but you need the mines there to, you know, do more damage. But notice though, right? Like Protoss is like, okay, he hasn't done anything. I'm gonna go expand. If you see your Terran opponent doing that at TVP, then do that. You want to have as many bases over your opponent as possible. He even put it, wow, That's just a dick move right there, like, out of all honesty. Like, he just put a supply depot right there. At the same time, though, he did make sure he did not get supply locked, though. Good win-win for that, though. So, but if that falls, you know, whatever. I mean, you probably could just put, like, a turret or something. I mean, I really don't know why you'd do that, but it'd be cheaper and faster, I think. Or put, like, your barracks there so you don't have to spend money, but it's such a little thing, doesn't really matter. But next is the 3 o'clock should be finished. No, 4 o'clock. And Terran is continuing to get single upgrades as it is. We'll be looking up their science facility to get those. Wait, where did Starport go? I'm just trying to figure out where the Starport went. There comes down the double armory. Oh, Starport's back here. Okay. I don't know what's with like the weird spacing of the supply depots. Like, maybe it's so stuff can get through, so they're not tight. Maybe if like an air attack came, maybe. I really don't know. Interesting though, nevertheless. And we'll be off of 4 gas. So double upgrades are initiated for the Protoss right now. We'll kill off that supply depot instantaneously. So it didn't really do too much, but you will be knowing that he'll be taking a 5th right here. No, a 5th is coming down here, but we'll be spawning that as well. And it looks like he might be taking another base as he's kind of high in the mineral count. And we'll be getting that Arbiter tech as well. If you're wondering how to recap, like standard TVP, you know, most openings it's normally a 1 factory, but due to the gas deal that didn't quite work out too well. But you normally see a 1 factory FE, which will fast expand, which will tend to be with like you'll get spider mines, and then you pump out 5 marines with a tank, and then you go for a push and try to do as much damage as you possibly can. And then mid game you use the vultures to get more map control as your army is pretty much immobile. Get spider mine for map vision. Protoss will can either go, you know, consistent off of gateway units till mid game, and then they can either go for Arbiter or they can rush for Arbiter, depending on what they want here. But he did start the extra starting energy in time for the Arbiter to spawn, so not bad knowing that timing as well is nice to know as well. So, but he will be double expanding, so Protoss is definitely looking pretty strong here. The one thing though that sometimes Terran will exploit in the Protoss counterpart is that since you know that, I mean, observer placement's really good right now, and he knows what his opponent's gonna be doing. But if, for say, you're in a lower league game and you're expanding, you know what to do as Protoss, but your Terran's like, well, I can take my own expand because you're not doing anything. I mean, you need to know a balance between army and expanding. But you know, oddly enough, though, he's been able to expand, and he's nearly maxed by 14 minutes in the game. Granted, he's not getting as many upgrades as his Terran counterpart up to this point. +1 is done. +2 is halfway done. And +1 armors, but 2/3 of the way done. So, confrontation. No, it's not confrontation. See, this is the thing that hates me about TVP, though. The mines look like individual units, so it's like you made things like, oh, well, the Terran has an army here. Oh, you click, oh, it's just a minefield. Like, they need an indicator for that. In StarCraft 2 Brood War, the Brood War mod in StarCraft 2, they're like little like white dots, I believe, if I remember correctly. But that's a pretty cool thing. So we will be seeing these goons coming up as well. Photon cannon is coming up, and speed. Are those not speed vultures, or did it just literally finish? I feel like it just finished. I think speed has been like significantly delayed up to that point. I could be wrong though. Dragoons are gonna Dragoons versus vultures. I don't know why it's just bothering them. Maybe for free supply. Is he max right now? No, and is he continuing to produce vultures? No, he's getting Goliath now. Okay, so he's not really. I mean, like, that's not a bad thing. Like, if you're seeing like the mines aren't being nearly as effective because this map is smaller, so than Fighting Spirit, so you're gonna be able to maneuver your units much more. Keep in mind, so you know, vultures aren't gonna be. I mean, spider mines are good on your own turf, like up. as you can see, like, he's playing defensive from this standpoint. You don't want the mines on you, because then they explode in your face and be like, BAM! So, I mean, keep that in mind as well. You don't want them to, like, boom on your tanks. That can be pretty bad, especially since they do splash damage. And I believe two spider mines can kill off tanks, especially if one is weakened, then one can kill off a whole bunch of them. I've seen that before. And sometimes Protest players will try to drag, like, spider mines from over here into the units. And now, if you guys are wondering, how do you break this siege line? The most logical way to do this is, there's two ways. One, get shuttles and drop, you know, zealots onto the thing. Now, if that's not an option, this is your option. Be off of 7 bases, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bases to the 4 bases the Terran's on, 3 bases the Terran's on, and they continue to max and max and max off of like 10,000 gateways. We're seeing, I mean, we're looking at 5 right here, 6, 9, 10, 15, 16 gateways right now. 16, 20, 21, 22, 24 gateways. I've seen 35 in my day, but it's not to say that he can not remax. You can get the triple upgrades going, and this is what the disadvantage of a 3-base Terran is. They sit back. They're not active. Now he'll be pushing out while you're getting up your 8th base. I mean, that's okay. You don't want to lose your 8th base, but like, if you could do that, and now the Terran's out of position, now you can go and be like, oh, dude, I can totally kill you, because now I can reproduce my army, and, like, no problem. Look at his mineral count. Look how fast it's going up. 6,200 to 1,500. And that's not because he's not macroing, my friends. That's because his mineral intake is insane. Oh, no. EMP went off from Arbiters, though. Also, you can use stasis shield, but he doesn't have, that was bad move by, Advert here by the Protoss. He stacked up his Arbiters just enough for an EMP, and this base is gonna fall. Like, that, it's just no possible way he's gonna be able to defend this here. And without that, and you know, with this map being, you know, with these small choke points here, it's gonna be hard for Protoss, you know, to circumvent that. You know, it's gonna be hard. That's what you need the stasis fields for. You need to be able to get them at a location like this one where you can get around, you know, from 2 positions here and keep them locked down. And that's what you do with stasis fields. But, you know, since the EMP went off, he doesn't have that energy now. He has to wait around 2 minutes in game for those stasis fields to come up. He's gonna try to send some zealots in here. Drop play would not be the worst thing right now. You know, finally trying to find an area where he can get up here though. And you know, he's gonna have to burn off scans now, which he's just not gonna have a useless storm going off. But you know, not the best storm I've seen. But you know, 168, 70, 170. We're just gonna watch that rack way back up, my friend. I believe these are all queued. No, they are not all queued. If all these gateways were queued, if he realized that he made another gateways here, he'd be okay. Like, we're seeing intense amount of gateways right here. But Terran's looking, annoying right here, and Protoss understands the difficulty here. But this is the problem, like, Terran, he could just remax, like, with nothing else. I mean, we're looking at, he just lost the whole army, he's remaxed, he's re-upped to, like, 170, literally. And, you know, slowly killing off this army. 2-2 versus, 2-3. So, Terran army's looking pretty powerful. But keep in mind, though, he can only produce off of, you know, 3, 6, 8 factories versus, like, 25 gateways. Do the math. Granted, mech units are, somewhat beefier than other ones, and he has an upgrade, but, the most important thing is he just wants to make sure he's not completely contained outside of the base. That would be pretty bad. But, he will be getting up there, and, this is just an annoying situation where the Protoss is in. It looks like he's losing, but he's so far ahead economically, he's going to be okay. I feel that, I agree with that, and yeah, there goes the safety field. Now he's going to be able to bring in Zealots here, and he should be able to do this up pretty well right here. You know, if you're Protoss in this situation, it's okay. It's, you know, again, I always say though, it's kind of rigged because, you know, being cost effective is near impossible against the Terran because their units are just so good and 9 kills on a tank. Like, that's fair. But in reality, that's the only thing you can do. It's balanced its way out like that. It's balanced because, you know, Terran can't go take these aggressive expands because they can't. Terran's more sitting back turtle rings. And then the way to combat this, being more active with your units, being more aggressive. And this is how you win TVP. I mean, Terran can do some quirky things by doing drops with like bio and stuff, but you know, that's not normal. This is standard TVP. As you can see, he's gonna be in a good situation. Now look at this mech army. Look how much smaller it is. Now he's gonna be able to, you know, keep the distance from that main army here, and then he's gonna be able to keep, as long as he keeps his army together, he's gonna be fine. He's losing tanks, and keep in mind he can only produce 4 tanks at once. That's, yeah, four tanks at once. And yeah, I mean, he's gonna be losing expand here and there, but he has such a far economic lead anyway. I mean, look at it. I mean, like, he could go and re-expand. He did lose a base here, which he probably he shouldn't fodder his bases like he's doing so easily here. I think he wants to go for a kill, but I think his best bet is just to go take up his bases again, which he's doing right now. And, oh no, he's going to go for the denying of the expansion here, which is another thing he could be doing. And that Sentinel is full of energy here, and will just die because it's on pole position, oddly enough. And Terran's not in position to deal with this right now. And there's a lot of Dragoons here, and I think the target fire that and micros correctly, that base should fall, at least be in the red enough to deal with that. But we'll be able to repair that. No, that base is going to fall for sure. And you know, now the Mexican army is trying to get in a better position here, kind of getting with the bad UI of the game here. Terran, Protoss will be, you know, taking out this 9-box position over here, or just being annoying with a couple of zealots here. Two upgrades as well. Is he continuing his production? He does have triple gateway, but still not getting the shield battery. But you know, he's attacking from like 3 fronts right now. If you're just looking at the mini map, no, 2 fronts. Down from the south and down and top and at the top northeast. So you know, keep that in mind as well. But he will be coming down here, and now he's in production facilities, and now it's gonna be tough because tanks are good, but when they're by themselves, not too good. They kind of die pretty quickly. They're kind of fragile units, 150 HP. Be compared to goons are 180, zealots have 160. They have more HP than these expensive mech units. You know, vultures only have 80. You know, mech army gives out a huge amount of DPS very, very quickly. That's what it does. Versus what you know, Protoss is pretty like beefy. It's beefy strong units that are expensive. That's kind of like what it's turned into. And zealots are gonna be in here and be able to clean up this tank line. And I think this game's just slowly falling apart for the Terran. And you know, the problem was with it, if you're a 3-basing Terran in the situation, we're seeing that Protoss has pretty much won this game. I don't see a scenario where the Terran can actually win a victory here, just because he's losing his bases now. And you know, he's only gonna be mining up 2 bases. The scenario where the Terran would win in a situation, if say they're 3-basing. Now, if Protoss is being this active, you do more active vulture harassing. That can win up victories, because keep in mind, you know, like the base over here, that was completely died because there wasn't really much to defend it. They're taking so many, you know, aggressive expands. That's a way to combat that as well. Another way to combat that is, you know, use your 3-basing to advantage. Don't attack the front part of a Protoss army, because they're gonna remax instantaneously. Go defend other expansions. Like, for example, if you took your natural and this third right here, put your mech army here, and you put your mech army here. Now that those bases are done, you don't move your mech army over here. Go take these 2 bases. You know, it's not like you can do it that way. I mean, you're still not optimizing, you know, all 5 bases at once. But you know, it's better than, you know, staying only on 3 bases until like 20 minutes are up, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna go attack and try to win this game. And if I don't, then that's going from the mindset of being from a predetermined build, which is not a good thing. Okay, engagement's gonna be happening over here as well, over at the 3 o'clock, and it's gonna get cleaned up pretty efficiently as well. But just keep in mind, guys, that like this is where you Terran. I have a gripe with this 3-basing Terran. It's strong, it's annoying, and it's good. And Protoss really should not have a difficulty against this. And we're seeing that, you know, Adver, I believe this is what his name is. Yeah, Arvid, is having a very, very easy time dealing with this pressure right here. And, you know, Terran needs to, you know, I feel like they need a better situation here right now, because, you know, when a Protoss is active, it's really, really good. Terran can also be a little more active with this. I mean, I'm not going to say I hate Terran, because I play Terran. But it's just something that I feel like that should eventually change. This build is kind of outdated for this, and it gets constantly, I mean, by a good player, it's pretty good. And the problem with the build is you're putting yourself in a scenario where you have to 3 versus an opening that you're going for. You know, it's like a timing push, like a super late timing push, which is really, really good. But at the same time, we'll be seeing engagement happening over here, and you know, gotta be able to clean himself. Like I said, you know, he's just gonna be able to remax so efficiently here. But you know, at the same time, Protoss is kind of losing bank here. He's only operating off of 2 base right here compared to what it is. But you know, at the same time, Terran's losing map control. Let's be honest here. Terran is losing the map control, and I like I said, I think Protoss is in a scenario where he's gonna be just fine. He could even be the scenario could he re-expand. All he has to do is put down a gateway, I mean a nexus, and he's gonna continue doing that here. He's even puts up cannons. He'll be fine. I don't see, like I said, I don't see a logical reasoning why he would lose this game. Tanks, I mean, he may want to eventually back off because he only has 8 Dragoons outside the front door of his opponent, and he has 4 tanks, 5 tanks, plus, you know, Spider Mines, which are going to be really, really annoying here. And, you know, this can get pushed back here. That could get pushed back. Not to say that Terran is invulnerable, but, you know, this is my opinion, and of course, you guys can disagree. Feel free to rage at me. I hope I'm doing this for you guys. So if you guys like hate me, I guess like it's okay. I guess. I mean, like, just to be like for the, because I know I posted something on Team Liquid, which I'll never. It was a very like argumentative subject. And instantaneously, I had like people being like, "Oh, dude, you're the wrongest person ever." I mean, people are gonna be pretty strong about, you know, certain aspects of StarCraft 2. I mean, not Brood War or StarCraft in general. And I want to like make sure I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but I'm just trying to point out PvP in general, an explanation of it, what Terran can do. We're seeing Terran losing, but Terran's making somewhat of a comeback here. He's not losing entirely here. He's going up and, you know, he's blocking off any kind of gateway units that are coming out here, because, I mean, keep in mind, I mean, he's not producing out of these all anymore because he's not in the prime of the game where he's macroing so much. In the event of a normal StarCraft game, other than, you know, replay of the week, because these tend to be long games, the best bet you probably, I mean, the game would normally end around 25 minutes probably. I'd probably estimate it because that's probably when, you know, the 5 bases are going to be able to do this. But both players, I mean, Terran's making a comeback, slowly but surely. He's denying this expand. This is what they want to do. This is what Terran can do. They can block off certain routes that where the Protoss can't, you know, circumvent, which means they move around. And, you know, Protoss is, you know, struggling here. 111 supply to 137, so Terran's still ahead right now. And, you know, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what the Protoss has been doing at this point in time. I think he's been in the lead. I think maybe one too many gateways, but in the end result, I mean, we're seeing 120. I'm just trying to find where his army is. 3-3 upgrades as well compared to 3-3 right there, and I'm just mining. Then we'll be re-expanding over here as well. Sorry for like the like I'm just trying to think, like, where is his army? That's his army? That should be a lot bigger. So I may have to take it back, but like I was saying though, don't feel bad. I can be wrong, and I'm just trying to point that out as well. I shouldn't say I had a gripe with it. I really don't. it just seems like a flaw with this build. And like I was saying, well, to get to the greater point where I started from anyway. Looks like there's gonna be sieging at this 8 o'clock position right here, and this base should fall as he started finding the nexus right here. That base will ultimately fall here, and Protoss is not looking in a very good situation here at all. Double Arbiter production is still happening here, but, you know, those EMPs earlier were really, really spot on from Praise here, and, you know, that kind of put him back slightly here. And, you know, just talking about, because the game's getting a little slower at this point in time. You know, we're seeing another base coming up here as well. Recall's happening right when I'm saying that, though, that this might change it right here. And, you know, Terran's, I mean, slightly made a comeback, 162 supply to 131. Now, will this be enough to war? Will the Terran army be able to do this? I don't know. You know, that was one of the 3 mining bases, or, like, literally to speak, only mining base left, as both these bases, these two bases are literally almost mined out here. But looks like the Mech Army is going to be closing in here. 3 Dragoons have died already, as it has been. And he only has an Arbiter with 17 energy right here. I believe EMP did go off and softening up the shields on a lot of these units right here. And we'll be able to get a couple SDV kills here. And like I was saying though, I think what differs from like a strong player to a weaker player is one that will constantly do the same build in the same matchup. For example, you'll see a lot of Terrans go for this 3-base play, and that's okay if you're gonna do that 3-base play, but do it in a way where you're being like, okay, what's my Protoss counterpart? Is he gonna be going for a lot of aggressive expands like this guy did? Maybe I should do a push now versus waiting for a 200 Arvid push. That's what the 3-base wants, and throw your opponent off guard a little. Something to note there. I mean, like, something like that is what a good player will be. And I think, I think we're starting to see that, Praise is a pretty good... Praise is a pretty good player right here. But, and was able to come back from this, oddly enough. And, showing that a 3-base can beat, this 7-base Protoss style here. Oddly enough. And it's kind of wacky how it worked out. But, it's these siege lines. They're sometimes very difficult to break. Like I said, you can do these drops on them. This is the stage, there's certain abilities that you need to do. If you're a Terran player, if they're going to be, like, in the scenario where they're here, you could try to do, drops with this Goliath here. But you could try to get away with it. You could go for your own... You could stasis fields, that's another thing. We haven't seen a lot of good stasis fields, as the spread on the units have been pretty good right here. And Protoss Archon is going to be... Morphing here, I believe just all he's just not mining anymore. In one problematic. So I actually think though that Praise has won this game, oddly enough. And oh my goodness gracious, that is wacky. And we do see that's a good stasis field right there. They're still moving, but the stasis field is Storm did go off, but at the same time I think he was on the stasis field units right here. And I think I believe that this will go, finally off. Excuse me, Arbiter will go down, and these High Templar are going to left to fend for themselves. Now, will they do their little dance? They're going to an Archon. Something in Korean. GG, yo! From KT.MGW, Arvid. So, just to, repeat the cast. This cast was mainly for, or what I've noticed, it was a lot of, explanation of TVP. Is what it turned out to be, because we saw a pretty standard game here, and a lot of while watching it, this was a pretty generic game that we saw, and oddly enough though, but it wasn't generic in the way that TVP normally plays out. Not to say that one has a better win rate than the other, but we saw though that Terran was at a disadvantage most of the time when the Protoss is off of 7 base, that they could win against a 3-basing Terran or a 4-base in this scenario, but because it was a 3-base and then he mined out the main and then he took a 4th, but Protoss, took those 7 expands, did stuff with that, and, had a good army, and maybe not the best decision-making for engagements. He did lose a lot of units, and, if we're also looking at the cost of everything, we're looking at resources, Protoss is going to be way further ahead. And it's, economy is one thing, but StarCraft is of multiple things. Your macro is one, as we start, but decision-making / micro is another thing. I'm not going to talk about micro as much, but the idea of macro is so important. The idea of decision-making is really important. You don't want to just fodder your units away in the game. That could be game-changing. What we saw in this game was game-changing. We saw the Terran was able to capitalize on the fact, and that was a pretty interesting game. Nevertheless, interesting game. And I'm kind of locked out. I hope you guys enjoyed this awesome game number 4. We'll go on to game number 5, and then I'll go render these. I'll upload them, and I'll go work on my JRP, my junior research paper. So that will be fun. Fun. And I hope you guys enjoyed this cast. Hope you. This is my most analytical game I've done. So please tell me how the feedback went. And if you guys like this analytical style, let me know. If I'm iffy, let me know as well. I'll make sure this is on Team Liquid. And thanks for watching, guys. Peace.